So Real Madrid were dunked on yet again by Barcelona. This is now three defeats in three finals against FC Barcelona. Domestically right now, Real Madrid is not in a place whereby they have a stand that they have been winning. As a flick has really changed Barcelona, and now Real Madrid has problems. I really said it in the morning of yesterday that Real Madrid would not be able to beat FC Barcelona, not because Real Madrid do not have good players, but because of the fact that Real Madrid right now lack a few things in that particular team. And if most of these things are not touched or solved at Real Madrid, with time, Real Madrid wouldn't be a struggling team. Right now, they're struggling. Yes, they will look like a team whereby they are winning in La Liga, and you think, yes, Real Madrid are doing well. But when you come to Europe, especially teams who know how to play football in, in terms of midfield play, Real Madrid will be lost. So now let's dive into some of the problems I think Real Madrid need to solve moving forward. The first thing I think Real Madrid needs to solve is individuality. Yes, individuality in this team is so much. When you have players like Bellingham, Camavinga, Rodrigo, Mbappe, Vini Jr., these are star players and these are big players. And I think the individuality in this team has really caused the issue whereby that collectiveness or the unity to play for Real Madrid itself, for the glory of Real Madrid, has really, really cost Real Madrid. And the fact that most of these players are not so united. This one feels I'm bigger than this. The other one feels I'm bigger than this. And that has really drawn back Real Madrid. So I think the level of individuality in this team needs to be cut down and reduced drastically. Like it has to go. Like that individuality has to reduce. I know super names is always associated with Real Madrid, but that kind of individuality at Real Madrid is going to kill the team. And when you play against a team whereby they are united and they're after collective success, you can never win against that kind of team. It's not possible when you have a whole lot of individuality in your team. It cannot work. Now, my second point is to Xabi Alonso. You know, Xabi Alonso, I think he has folded to pressure at Real Madrid. When he first came to Real Madrid, you could see how he wanted to implement his philosophy, how he wants his team to play, and what he wants Real Madrid to look like. He envisioned that in his particular mind, but now it's no longer there. I think after when he lost to Man City majorly and lost to Atletico Madrid, kind of he relapsed and he was seeing that the body language of most of these players they were not positive. So he had to try to adapt to whatever they were playing and play to their strengths, which would work in La Liga at some point against La Liga teams, but against other kind of nice and brilliant position, it's not going to work. Then my fourth point, which I really think that's the most important for Real Madrid, is the fact that they need midfielders. Yeah, Real Madrid needs midfielders in that midfield. So now the availability or the options Real Madrid have, I think it's not sufficient enough, especially if you want Xabi Alonso to be your coach and you want him for a long term. I think it's not going to cut it because take a look at the options. Jude Bellingham. Bellingham is a good midfielder, but I think Bellingham just functions better as a 10 most times, you know, and not the kind of 10 that can create chances for you. A 10 whereby he runs into channels, you know, score goals for you, clinical in front of goal. That's what Jude Bellingham can do for you. Now you have Camavinga and Chouameni. These two are like mechanics in terms of this is just their football is just mechanics football. They are not able or they're not the kind of midfielders that can ping passes, dictate tempo of the game. That doesn't work. Ceballos on the bench is not so efficient and it's not up to the standard of what Xabi Alonso can use to try to implement his pattern of play also. Then he has tried Adagula in that midfield. I think it has not also worked. So now Real Madrid needs a metronome, someone who can come into that midfield, just like what he was able to achieve at Leverkusen. He had someone like Granit Xhaka, And if you even watch Granit Xhaka in the Premier League also, you can see what he's bringing to Sunderland. That ability to dictate the tempo of the game, string long passes, string short passes, make the game fast, dictate the tempo of the game to become cool again. Like him being able to soak up pressure and play for the team, dictate the tempo of the game. That was what Pedro was able to bring for Barcelona yesterday. And I think that really, really was why part of the reason whereby Real Madrid were not able to play. Yes, they had decent moments in the game yesterday, but because of the fact that Barcelona had Pedri in that midfield, they were able to dictate the tempo of the game whenever they felt like if they wanted to make it to be a fast game, Pedri strings passes, string a long pass, string a really, really blind breaking pass. And you can see how it affected Real Madrid yesterday. So Real Madrid needs someone in the middle of the pack. Now they have lost Toni Kroos and Luka Modric, who just left during the summer. I think they need to replace those two because they have not really replaced those two guys in that middle of the pack. And that is going to be an issue if they do not actually try to fix those particular aspects of the game. Then my last point I think Real Madrid needs to fix also is they need to make a total overhaul of the back line. I think that back line right now has old players and set of injury prone players. Now, I think they need to overhaul players like Alaba, Mendy, Eder Militao is still young, is still in his maybe prime age, 28. But if you actually look at his injury record now, it has not been encouraging. And that's not the kind of defender you would want to rely on in the long run. I think the only defender or player they have to maybe leave right now a bit to settle in again, maybe 2 years contract is Carvajal. Carvajal, I think he still has a bit of something in him he can offer, but not in high tempo games or for long any longer. I think they need to overhaul that backline because that backline has not been it. Let's be sincere. Since last season started under Don Carlo, you could see that they don't have a consistent backline or a consistent backline combination that can play for like 10 straight games, 15 straight games. It's no longer there. And I think that also affects the chemistry. Hoisin also has not helped by not being fit in terms of staying fit and being available for the team. Asensio is not good enough to be a starter in that Real Madrid backline. So I think that backline also has to be overhauled. Then if Real Madrid are able to fulfill and fix all these issues, I really think this will help them if they are able to fulfill all these issues and solve these problems all around. Real Madrid will also become a team whereby they can compete again. But for now, I really feel domestically Barcelona will keep getting the better of them if a change is not done. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's my new YouTube channel. I'm really starting this journey newly. It will be helpful if you like, share, and subscribe, comment, engage, and I would like to know that you see me and I see you. I really appreciate those that have been, commenting on my post, liking and subscribing. Thank you so much. And I love you guys. See you in the next.